Good afternoon. Are you happy? I read an article that said that most Americans, a majority of Americans, are happy. We all think we're happy. I think I'm happy. But do you wake up in the morning and take a few minutes to say, oh, I'm happy? Or when you get in the shower, do you take and think of saying, oh, I'm so grateful that I have this luxury of a warm shower and running water? And today, do you think I send out a prayer, a wish for all of those people suffering in Indonesia who don't have access to a shower because of the earthquake and tsunami, to all those people who are homeless and struggling, to all of those who are in grief, to all of those who have died? For me, happiness is tied up with compassion. And it wasn't always this way. For a long time, just like everyone else, I pursued my happiness for me. And it wasn't until I started to get into my spiritual practice, the time in solitude, which is the theme of this week, that I began to learn true happiness comes from having compassion for myself and for others. This quote from Mary Sarton expresses it well. Loneliness is the poverty of self. Solitude is richness of self. We need solitude to find our happiness, to develop compassion for others, to understand and realize why gratitude is so important, that we have so much just being alive, and particularly those of us here in the United States and in what's so-called the Western world. We have so many things, but beside the things, above and beyond the things, those of us who've had access to information and knowledge and being able to communicate with other people of like minds around the world, to be able to travel, to be able to get food in our grocery stores, all of these things, we're lucky and we should be happy. But maybe you're an entrepreneur like me, and sometimes you get so frustrated. You're trying to figure out, how am I going to make some money? How am I going to get people to understand I have a message that's important? Or maybe you're a working woman, a nurse, or a secretary, as I have been, and you really thought you liked your job, but you're beginning to hate it, but you need the money. And you're wondering, how can you ever find happiness? Or maybe you're an older woman who's now an empty nester. All of your children are gone and they were the center of your life. And you're feeling a little unbalanced and wondering what you're going to do with the rest of your life. Or maybe you're a divorcee and you are really wondering if you'll ever be happy again. Or maybe you're a single younger woman whose job is fine, or you're even a single entrepreneur and you're doing well, but you feel an ache in your heart that there's something missing. Abundant happiness is a gift, but it's also a path. It's a path you can walk on for your whole life. And I'm so grateful that I've found the resources, the practices, and the tools to be able to say, yes, I am abundantly happy. And it's not based on how much money I have, by no means. It's based on a sense of gratitude, a vast wealth of friends and resources, a loving husband, a loving family. And it's also just based on being able to wake up every morning and take a few minutes to say, I want this day to be of benefit to others. It's about taking time every day to do a spiritual practice, sitting down and saying, I want to be of benefit to others. I want my work to help others. I want to help relieve the darkness in this world. And I am so grateful that I still have health and resources to strive toward manifesting that goal. So that's what I'm about. Abundant happiness expressed through the practice of compassion. Why don't you tell me what you're about and how you manifest your abundant happiness, or what you feel is missing in your life, or the questions you may have of getting on the path to abundant happiness? I'd love to hear from you. And you might also want to check out the booklet Jumpstart to Happiness if you're feeling like you're not happy or need a little bit of help. That link will be at the bottom of this video. So I just wanted to share a little bit with you today of my happiness, my being grateful that I can say I'm happy. Now, and when I say I'm happy, it doesn't mean I don't get angry. It doesn't mean I don't feel tired. It doesn't mean I don't feel frustrated at times. It doesn't mean that I don't feel slighted or hurt or sometimes even feel a little gray or depressed. Yes, I have those days and those moments. I'm far from perfect or fully enlightened. But at the base of even when I'm succumbing into my darkness or depression or sadness or frustration or anger, I know it's temporary. I know that within me is an abundant happiness that can only grow as I continue to walk this path of gratitude, of compassion, of patience, of spiritual practice, of courage and consciousness to help others and to be of benefit. So I hope this has been of benefit to you. I'd love to get your comments. I'd love to hear from you. And I'll be back again tomorrow to talk more about solitude. Have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are in the world.